Welcome, everybody, back to Moist Visions Inc. It's been a couple weeks since I've been live. Had a few things to deal with here. I will just get the elephant out of the room right now. Unfortunately, as you guys have known about my cat, Jon Snow, Jon Snow is no longer with us. He passed last week, but his memory will live on through these Game of Thrones streams and in my heart as well. And I have a new cat to welcome to the Moist Visions Inc. family, and her name is Daenerys Targaryen, but on paper it's just Danny. So I would not want to let that out there right now, let you guys know what has been going on here. And the Wiener Dogs are with us, and let me lead us into our introductions here. And I will just start with those Wiener Dogs that you hear in the background, and those Wiener Dogs belong to the one, the only, the super fan, Adam Shawhan.
They were saying hail to their good friend that they miss, Jon Snow, and hello to Danny.
And that is awesome. And our condolences to the Shawhan family as well, as they lost a puppy that fought for its life for the past 8 days, a little undersized, little buddy. And I just think that little Bitty just heard so much about Jon Snow that she was just like, I need to go meet this Jon Snow.
That's right. He was there to usher her in, so it's all good.
But their memories will live on with us, and we're gonna have a lot of memories of individuals that passed in seasons 5 and 6 that we're gonna have to remember here today, because there was a lot of them that died. And if you remember, we're coming off of season 4 where a lot of people had died. But also helping us to discuss season 5 and 6 is Geoff the Iron Wolf.
What's up, everybody?
I was gonna say, I forget what was the nickname I gave you. Geoff the Dire Wolf.
Dire Wolf.
No, it's Geoff the Dire Wolf today, folks. It's not just Geoff the Iron Wolf. And also joining us on our panel today is he's currently muted, but he will be joining us shortly. I know he was having his breakfast and dinner, or breakfast, I think. Yeah, breakfast. Yeah, us East Coast folks, we just say dinner for everything, basically. So, but joining us as well to discuss is Hallmark Channel Jeremy.
Hello, greetings.
Moist, I heard from Angus. He's not going to be able to make it for right now. Maybe later.
All right, that's good. Yeah, yeah. And my co-host we usually bounce back and forth between other streams and channels is Black Angus Reviews. Hopefully he'll be able to join us here. I know he has the link, so hopefully he'll be able to join us here. And if you guys haven't checked out his channel has been doing really great as of late. So make sure you continue to support his channel, and let's get him. I think he was last I saw like 500 subs maybe or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like let's keep him going. You know,
right now the front runner is definitely Sith Kryptonian. He just crossed 2,500.
I know Sith is killing it. So make sure you guys are just checking everybody's channels out and giving some support, giving them some likes and some interaction. Even if you're already subbed, make sure you just interact. That's huge in the YouTube algorithm. So that would be great. But today we're here to talk about season 5 and season 6 of Game of Thrones. So we had discussed, I know I had discussed earlier this week with Adam Shawhan, and I think even the last stream that we had a couple weeks ago, we had discussed about maybe combining 5 and 6, because 5 and 6 really flow together perfectly. You can honestly see them as like one big 20-episode season, to be honest with you. And so we wanted to combine them together. We're going to try to talk about the different events within both seasons independently of each other, but there are a shitload of big events, and we just came off of season 4, where we ended with the Battle at the Wall. We ended up with Tywin Lannister being killed. We ended up with Tyrion killing Shay, Tyrion leaving Westeros as a whole. And in season 5, we get our reward, where we get to see Tyrion meet Daenerys. And I guess we'll start with a little bit of season 5 talk. And if you can recall back to season 5, folks on the panel, what are some of your favorite memories from season 5 or your favorite moment from season 5?
All right, well, I'll lead off that one. Season 5, as we were talking offline, Mr. Moist, was the season of Arya. especially getting her to finally get to the House of Black and White. I was waiting for this moment. That was a big one for me. Also, just like you said, Tyrion finally meeting Dany and actually bending the knee to her in the end. That was an amazing moment. Let's see what else. Oh, we also have Stannis attempting to take Winterfell, and probably the biggest moment of season 5 where I was just like, you sick bastard, was when he sacrificed his daughter. Oh, I was so mad at that one. Even my wife was throwing shit at the TV screen.
Yeah, I think that was easily one of the most despicable moments in Game of Thrones that we've had. How about Superfan Adam Shawhan and Hallmark Channel Jeremy? What are some of your favorite moments of season 5?
I love Tyrion describing being stuck in a box and shoving his shit through a little hole. No, I only know what it's like to pick up your shit and throw it overboard. Just the banter with our favorite little man Tyrion was great. On top of the fact you've got Arya's journey. You turn around and you see what happens to Stannis. You see how bad things can get rather quickly when you back the wrong king, that being Stannis. There were so many things that happened in season 5 that lead off to then season 6. But it was just nonstop fun with Arya, seeing where her journey is going to take her, seeing Stannis and what happens with him. But for me, it's got to be Tyrion and where he ends up by season 6, getting to see the dragons. When he's talking to the dragon, all I wanted was a little dragon. He could be little just like me. I didn't care. And when I found out there were none, I cried. I mean, perfect.
And the thing is, and going off of that, you see Tyrion meet the dragons, and the dragons they don't go after him at all.
Oh, they don't even eat him. I mean, to me, they're looking at him like, hey, cracker.
It's
advertising, But he told him, I'm your friend. And I love it. He gets done and he goes, next time I have an idea like that, just punch me in the face.
Oh, but one other thing I also forgot is this is the season the girl that plays Sansa really spreads her wings and starts flying.
Yeah.
You feel so bad for Sansa this season. You can't. I mean, even as annoying as she was in the previous 4 seasons, you just feel so bad for her in this season.
Well, you see what a dick Littlefinger truly is in this season, And
I mean, everything that Varys was talking about. Sorry, Adam.
No, you're good.
Talking about this man will burn the entire kingdom and sit on the Iron Throne on a kingdom of skulls. You really see that part of his character.
I'm sorry, I'm engrossed. I'm watching the Battle of the Bastards as we speak, and I just saw the moment where it was the single shot of Jon going through, and it was probably about a 30-second shot that the camera just followed him through the chaos, and I'm just I just had a movie orgasm essentially. But no, I say Hallmark Channel Jeremy. So we've got a couple opinions here of what our favorite moments were. Hallmark Channel Jeremy, what are some of your favorite moments from season 5 and 6, or season 5 particularly?
Well, I'm trying to think because I binged a lot, so the seasons have actually started running together on me.
And that's the sign of a good show, though. That they run
everything that has been mentioned, plus a couple of other things that I already forgot one of them, but one of them was my girl Brienne of Tarth facing off against the Hound.
Yeah, that was season 4.
Was that 4?
Yeah, that was the last episode of 4, I think. So.
He's like, oh, God.
You're in the ballpark, though. You're in the ballpark.
Yeah.
No, I mean, no, honestly, but the thing is that still resonates when you're thinking about all this. It just shows how good of a battle that was.
Yeah, but all right, Battle of the Bastards.
That was season 6.
Was
That's
that
6? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, season 5 is a lot of leading up to the Battle of the Bastards and leading up to all the drama with Tyrion meeting Dany and all this stuff. It's and you really learn the fate of the North. I think season 5, if I could define it, you're learning more about the fate of the North than
I like. Okay, I'm think I'm kind of narrowing it down here. I can't think of his first name now. Anyway, Mormont, right?
Sure.
The older gentleman that has a thing for Daenerys.
Yeah.
And his quest to get back into her good graces.
Yep. That's exactly right. Yeah.
I like that storyline, and the funniest thing, I think, one of the funniest things, is the fact that he kidnaps Tyrion to take him to the same place that Tyrion was on his way to anyway.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah. And then and then when Tyrion when he told Tyrion where he was taking him, and Tyrion just kind of chuckled, it's like, well, you could have saved yourself a lot of trouble. But yeah.
Oh, Mr. Moist, if I can interject one more. One was episode 6, Unbowed, Unbent, and Unbroken, where Jaime and Bronn meet the Sand Snakes, and you hear Bronn's singing voice.
Yeah.
And the younger Sand Snake get really turned on, and then she poisons him, and then he begs her for the antidote. And it's just that was such a great scene. And that younger Sand Snake, I'm sorry, she's my favorite out of them.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was the best.
Who's the prettiest woman in the world?
You are. And the thing is, in this show, she's only 15 or 16 and making a 40-year-old, knighted man just salivate over her. It's just wow.
I actually, no way, I'm thinking ahead here. Never mind. Excuse my introduction.
At the risk of changing the rating of the cast here, one of the best lines was that gal telling Bronn, because he's like, I'm supposed to marry so and so and blah blah, and she's like, yeah, you want the good girl, but you need the bad pussy.
That was such a great line. Oh, that was such a great line. Oh, and one other thing, we had Gilliam. Sam and Gilly hook up.
Yeah.
The greatest. It's
oh yeah, freaking Sam, dude. Yeah, Sam got lucky.
Yeah. Sam is one of the biggest dark horses of Game of Thrones ever. I'm telling you what, if you were gonna bet, on an underdog that has a plus, his over under or whatever, his money line is plus 4,000 to get the Iron Throne. I'm honestly, I'd be willing to throw $40 down on it because I'd make 4,000 just in case. Because I think Sam is just that guy that honestly, you have all this chaos, you have everything going on, everybody's just losing their shit, killing each other, blah blah. Your main characters are being all politic, and Sam's there just I'm just trying to fucking live.
Another good moment was when they're having dinner at Sam's house.
Oh, that's way in the future. That's season 7.
Was that 7?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I pretty much watched 5, 6, and 7 bam, bam, bam. So
the thing is, that's good. That tells you. The fact that Hallmark is remembering all of this as one season, essentially, that just goes to show the storytelling ability of both George R.R. Martin and D.B. Weiss and D.B. Benninghoff. How they were able to work with a story creator to make this flow so seamlessly. It's you could watch a season finale. There's going to be epic battles or whatever in the end of the seasons. But whenever you watch episode seasons, the next season, you're watching episode 1 or 2 or whatever, you're just like, holy shit, that battle literally just happened. And like, you're not thinking about the year in between. You're just like, it feels like it was yesterday. It was that vivid in your memory. And whether you binge it or whether you watch it live, like we have, like some of us have, like a couple of us have, it's like, I can tell you, it's been 2 years since we've seen Game of Thrones. But whenever freaking episode 1 of season 8 comes out, I know exactly where we're at. And I'm like, it'll be like, I've never missed a beat. Let's freaking go, baby.
Yeah, here's the fun part. Endgame and the season 8 opener are happening the same weekend. Rip my wallet. Oh, and that's the same weekend of Star Wars Celebration. So seriously, rip my wallet. And my wife has already threatened me. I don't care if you make it home or not on time. I'm watching episode 1 with or without you.
I was gonna say, what I already will do will be because so I'm now questionable for Star Wars Celebration. I talked to Adam about this, but with trying to treat my cat with his with trying to treat him and save him, that vets are expensive.
Yeah, fair.
Some disposable income that I had that I was going to use for that got used. Hopefully I'll still be able to swing it as long as the airline prices are still looking okay. So I'm hoping to be able to swing it here. But regardless, if I go and I will the flight that I'm looking at going on flies back, I will fly back to DC. Then I'll have to drive back to Manassas. So it will be during the Game of Thrones premiere. I already have a plan to mute every character's name on Twitter, everything on social media. I will mute their names. I will mute Game of Thrones so I don't see anything about it.
So I can airplane mode.
Essentially, yeah, airplane mode. And when I get off the airplane, I just won't turn it on. I'll just be like, I don't have service. Oh, cool. Okay.
But no, I will definitely, hopefully, be heading home by that point. Since my wife lost her car because it got totaled, I was going to drive my car up there, but now it's like, yeah, my wife's going to need the car that week because she has to go to work. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to fly or take a train.
Yeah.
At least the flight's like maybe if I do have to take a flight, like $40 or $50, and it's like maybe a 15-minute flight from Indianapolis to Chicago.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Let's say, going from Indy to Chicago, that's not bad.
Yeah, I'll probably be on a puddle jumper.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Because I know I'd be coming from DC area.
Yeah.
So I could either fly. The nice thing is there's enough different airports around here with Baltimore, BWI, Reagan, and Dulles. So there's some good deals that I can get, I think. And I might, I have a bunch of PTO days accrued. I might just take a PTO day maybe on that Monday, just to be like, maybe just go out there. Maybe, and honestly, and here's the thing, honestly, what would be cool is I know this is off topic and whatnot, but it would be cool, like, if we are out there if we're out there and, like, say, like, some of us can't go home until, like, Monday morning, I guarantee you there's a bar or whatever that will be showing Game of Thrones.
Oh, the hotel will probably have.
I was in Las Vegas. I was in Las Vegas 2 years ago during season 6. It was the season 7. Whenever the sand snakes were all killed. It was that episode where that fucking Greyjoy killed all the sand snakes and whatnot. It was that episode. We were taking our best friend, my best friend from college, and my roommate, we're taking him on his bachelor party. And the first thing we did for his bachelor party, we took him to a comic book shop where we watched the new episode of Game of Thrones.
You know you're going to
get on Tuesday. So the groomsmen, we all flew out on Thursday. So the groomsmen, we were in Las Vegas way too long. Let this be a lesson to all you folks out there.
Oh, I got friends who live in Vegas and family.
We got to Vegas on Friday night. We flew out on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday night we got there. And we landed, and immediately we're just like, we need to go to a liquor store and get liquor. And so it just kind of went from there. It was like a 48-hour just freaking crazy shit show. I ended up winning like $400. I paid for my entire trip, to be honest with you. I only played slots, too. I intentionally avoided table games. avoided the slots or avoided the table games, played the slots, paid for my entire trip somehow. And but when we were doing the bachelor party, we were planning it out. We're like, okay, we're gonna go to this club. What are we gonna do first for the pregame? And then we were just looking it up, like where to watch Game of Thrones Las Vegas. And we found a comic book shop that they had. It was like there's like, if you want to watch the new episode of Game of Thrones, come here, dude. It was the shadiest thing ever. We walked into this comic book shop on the outside of town. You go in and you're just like, and you say to them, I'm here for Game of Thrones. You give them $2. They give you like a little tiny ticket, and they're just like, would you like some popcorn? We're just like, well, yeah. And they just give it to you for free. And you walk in, and it is in a room. They have a big screen, like a movie theater kind of screen. They have the projector, and then they have someone on a computer illegally pulling it up. And then they had stadium seating, and it was completely packed. It was completely packed. So I'm just like, so I'm looking around, and the people next to me, I'm like, where are you from? They're just like, oh, I'm from like Michigan. I'm like, so you're just in Vegas, but you're just trying to get some Game of Thrones? They're just like, yeah. It's like, we're heading to Caesar's Palace after this, but we need Game of Thrones right now.
Oh, man.
It was just incredible. Okay. I'm sorry to go off on that tangent, and then I got off of our review here, but I mean, I think it just goes to show how much this
watching this show on a movie screen. Good God, that would be awesome having it like that big.
Well, believe me, no, they had BYOB.
Battle of the Bastards, or like that big sea battle in season 7 on a big screen. Oh my God, I think my brain would explode.
Oh, dude, speaking of Battle of the Bastards, I thought that was the end. Especially when Ramsay like gave them the little signal to just start, move, making the circle smaller. I'm like, oh shit, and then all of a sudden, here come the
Knights of the Eerie.
Yeah. Here come the guys with the doves on their flags. The veil.
Yeah, and while we're talking about the veil, let's just hop into season 6. So I feel like we're just itching to talk about season 6 here.
We got to talk about one elephant in the room. We got to talk about the Walk of Shame. You cannot leave them.
No, honestly, I forgot about that, and I forgot to bring up my favorite part of season 5.
Jon Snow getting knifed.
Jon Snow at Hardhome.
Oh yeah, when he gets killed. Oh my God!
Hardhome, I'm not gonna lie. Hardhome is one of my all-time favorite battles of all Game of Thrones. Hardhome will always forever be in my top 3 favorite battles, more so than the Blackwater and the Wall, to be honest with you. Because
talk about
right now, it's Battle of the Bastards. Hardhome.
I'm trying to remember that. What?
It's whenever the White Walkers met the Wildlings.
Yeah, and they had that fight where Jon Snow actually takes his sword and kills a White Walker.
Kills a white.
Oh yeah, where the dead actually breached the walls of the Wildling village.
Yep. And the thing is, here's why it means so much to me, and why I think it's so great is whenever it's all the promotion for season 7. Whenever you hear Jon Snow, Kit Harington saying, "The war's been real. It's always been real." When I heard, it's like a retroactive why I like this battle so much. It's whenever I hear him telling Dany that, Kitty, I'm sorry, I know you looked over. Keep sleeping. It's okay. For you tuning in, my cat, her name is Dany, but Jon Snow saying, "It's always been real. This has always been real." It's like he's showing Dany proof on like the hieroglyphics in the caves under Dragonstone, but like it's like, God, you just freaking saw them all. Tormund saw them. Tormund fought them. All the wildlings fought them. Where it's just like, oh my God. and it makes me enjoy Sir Alistair Thorne. And can we also talk about another moment that I liked? I will say I like this moment in season 5.
Well, the thing is,
Or,
like,
no,
when,
season 6. That would be season 6.
when it was over,
yes, in season 6, because Jon Snow lets the wildlings through the wall because of what he saw at Hardhome, and that's what gets him killed at the end of season 5. That's what gets him killed.
Doing the right thing.
When he comes back, baby, in season 6, and then let us transition to season 6 right here, and we will do a little quick callback to the Walk of Shame. But with Jon Snow's story going into season 6, when I have never felt more satisfied watching Sir Alistair Thorne and Ollie, a child, being hanged. I cheered, I jumped, I literally jumped out of my seat and was like, fuck you, Ollie. Fuck you. I was pumped. I am ashamed to say that I was excited to see a child die. But he killed Ygritte, and then he killed Jon. After Jon Snow looked at him, it's like, Ollie, you too? And then boom.
Like E2 Brute. And
it's like, yeah, E2 Brute. And the best part, Jon looking at him like, he just looked at him right before he died.
Well, that's the thing, man. Think about it. That kid's family was wiped out by wildlings. He's a little pissed. You know, it was justified.
It was, but the thing is, Jon argued for the greater good.
Fuck yeah, he did.
I can understand you're gonna be pissed, but it's like, yo, Ollie, your family will be killed no matter. There's a reason the wildlings are coming over the wall. Jon Snow saw the reason why they're coming. Like, and the thing is, I feel like the Night's Watch. I feel like, I mean, this is maybe I'll bring up a controversy here. Maybe I'll be a conspiracist here. I feel like the Night's Watch hid what was beyond the wall. I feel like they hid it because they could just try to get people and be like, oh, fuck the wildlings, but they're just like, honestly, no, the wildlings are just, they're easy to kill or whatever. We don't have to worry about them. No, there's a real threat. I feel like the Night's Watch was covering up a lot of shit, and Jon Snow was the one that exposed. It's like, no, the wildlings aren't the problem. The fucking
I got bounced out for a minute.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. You know that, and that's the thing. We end 5 with a cliffhanger that was a hell of a cliffhanger. Start 6, and you still don't know what's going to happen because his ass stays dead for a while.
He's revived in season episode 3.
Yeah, you don't get it right away. You got to wait for 3
and the thing is, that's awesome, and I'm so glad they did that.
Going back a little bit, when the dead when the dead took over that village, right? And Jon Snow's staring at the Night King, they're just like staring each other down, and then you see the Night King raise his arms, and all the people who got killed stand up.
Especially the woman that she was killed by the
oh shit.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, yeah, the thing with Ollie, like I think if Ollie would have been a little bit older,
he might have figured it out.
Quote unquote, if Ollie would have been an adult, and he would have better understood Jon's reasoning for making friends with the wildlings. But I think he was still a kid, and he was still, it's like Adam said, he watched the wildlings kill his family. So, and when you're a kid, your passion part overrides your logic part, and so I mean, but I mean when they killed Jon Snow because they thought he was like a traitor or whatever, I'm like, oh, you motherfuckers! I hope you get turned into a White Walker or something. But
there were a little group of them, and they held, they're like, hey, we're here. You know, they're giving shit. They're giving orders. They wanted that dead body. And then when John was revived by the evil witch lady that takes off her necklace and you see what she looks like without her necklace. Oh, yeah. That was fun.
Can I give you also a little fun time, a little fun fact here. So my friends and I, we are doing it there. If you go into Yahoo or if you just type in Game of Thrones fantasy draft or whatever, so fantasy football, you can draft players, based off their stats, however good they do. You get points, and then you can play against other people that have different players, and if you get more points than them, you win. So like fantasy football, fantasy basketball, fantasy baseball. There is also a fantasy Game of Thrones, and there is a league that I am in that you base your players off of. There are many categories: violence, sex, storyline, and whatnot. Where basically it's like, okay, take the Iron Throne, 200 points. Has sex with major character, 50 points. Kills major character, 100 points. Things like that. So you can draft characters based upon their attributes or whatever. So it's like kills minor character or kills no-name character, 10 points. It's like for the Battle of the Bastards. So John would have had freaking 100-some points. He killed so many characters or whatever, but then he got 50 points. He killed Ramsay Snow. So it's based upon how much, what the status, kills, things like that.
Actually, he didn't kill Ramsay Snow. Remember who kills Ramsay Snow?
That is Sansa.
Sansa gets
and he's a Bolton because he killed his father after being named a Bolton.
Exactly.
That was such a case. That was such a case of poetic justice. Oh, geez.
What's even funnier was the puppies being born during the Battle of the Bastards and the second puppy coming out as his hounds were eating him. That still is hilarious.
All right, well, we've got to go head deep into season 6 because season 5 was the pause. Season 6 was, okay, we're pushing the pedal back to the metal.
Yeah.
What didn't happen in season 6 is the better question.
As I tell you, I'm at the beginning of season 6, episode 10, right now.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of shit's about to happen. Lots of shit's about to happen. And if I have to tell you, with season 6, what I learned from season 6, looking back at it, is I see Cersei really becoming Cersei and showing herself as I want nothing but the rule of the crown and of the kingdom. It's honestly, for me, this is Cersei season.
Oh yeah, especially at the end when she just and kills just about everybody who's opposing.
Yeah, she kills everybody, even Maester. Fuck, what's his name? Maester. God, what's the guy right now?
The Grand Maester.
God damn, what's his fucking name?
I can't remember the Grand Maester's name, but she basically assassinates everyone. And
in one fell swoop.
As the Mad King would have done as well. That's the poetic justice.
In the damn temple,
And as tradition, I will need to release some moisture for myself, as in I need to pee. So keep the conversation going.
Well, gentlemen, there's also a couple of other big things that happen. One, Daenerys basically gets the Dothraki horde.
Yeah. Oh, that was that
was reminiscent of season 1 where she walks out of the fire. That was whoa.
But I mean the way she took out all those chieftains, or whatever, it's like
Yep.
just the look on her face, like, oh, okay, I'm this little dainty female, okay, yeah, watch this shit, boys.
Oh, and Hallmark, you were actually right. They do visit the Tully household in season 6. You were right about that. I thought it was season 7.
Yeah.
You see how it all blends together.
But one of my favorite moments was when Sam was like, I'll screw this shit, Gilly, we're leaving, and he takes his father's sword, which was gonna be passed down to him anyway.
Yeah, Heartsbane.
But his dad was like, "Oh, you're just a fat fuck. I'm gonna send you off to the Night's Watch."
Well,
him taking that sword, was just like this awesome, F you to my freaking asshole of a dad,
Oh, big time.
And the biggest thing to happen probably wasn't even, I mean, as much as the Battle of the Bastards, Cersei taking out everybody, the biggest sub-story of the season was figuring out Jon Snow's parentage, at least half of it. And
yeah.
becoming the Three-Eyed Raven and learning all this stuff, which
Hold
really...
Hold door.
Yeah, right?
Oh, my God, yeah, no.
Breaking.
Oh, my God. The one time I really cried in Game of Thrones was Hodor.
Hold door.
Yeah.
Hold
Yeah,
the
that
door!
was kinda...
Hold the door. Hold the door. Hold the door. Hold. Like, I'm telling you what, storytelling wise, and just if you want to make an audience just freaking just be crushed, the Hodor scene, I think it was like episode 6 of season 6, was just the most heartbreaking thing I've ever seen. And like I'm just watching it, I'm just like, what? This is how? And you learn like an entire character.
Yeah.
In one shot.
His name wasn't Hodor. His name is Willis.
Exactly. Yeah. Willis. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, think about it. Season 3 or episode 3 is when they finally brought Jon back. 6, we get Holdor's death. I mean, they just keep stacking it and stacking it. We get Stannis dead, finally. Justice for Brienne Tar. And then you end up with Cersei, who says there's a traitor among us, to throw the new queen under the bus, and instead fucks everything up and puts them all in power, puts the religion in power, who then she decides, hey, I know how I'm going to take care of all of this. Boom. They're gone.
And we have the wrap-up of Arya's story in the House of Black and White. And my favorite moment of Arya is when she kills Walder Frey and all her sons in one fell swoop.
Oh, man, I mean, think about it. Where are my sons? They're here, my lord. Where? They're right here. The last thing you will see is a Stark smiling as you die. It was great.
Arya proved the North always remembers, and it settles its debts.
Oh, it did. And then with Cersei, though, I mean, you go back to look at the Mountain and what he's become, where, the little followers think they're going to do something to the Mountain, and he just rips a head off. The guy that's talking shit about Cersei, I let her see my cock, but she's only used to seeing Jaime's. And then he turns around and just smashes his head into the wall.
The thing with the Mountain and the fucking and Prince Oberyn. Oh man.
Yeah. It's awesome to see him still alive and kicking. To see Cersei set up what happens, not meaning to, and you just sit there and you watch and you have to kind of fucking laugh because she did it to herself, trying to get rid of the queen so that Tommen's safe, and it backfires. It backfires so bad. Confess.
And then we have to give props for the epic swan dive of Tommen after Cersei eliminates everybody. That was just like
yeah.
It was just so nonchalant. He just puts this thing down, opens the window, and just out he goes. It's like, holy shit!
And
he waits till after the Mountain leaves. Sir Gregor, that was the best part. He's there the whole time, keeping him from going. And oh man, I tell you, for the way that season 6 goes into season 7, and you're just like, oh man, I cannot wait to see what happens, and to see Cersei be the one that put it all in place is what was so funny. The fact that she didn't think it would happen, and yet a peasant overthrows the kingdom.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you know, the Tommen, when he freaking does his dive off the freaking out the window or whatever, Cersei, Cersei still, Cersei still will not admit to the fact that everything that she did is why her son committed suicide. She still wants to blame other people for her shit.
Yep.
And then, of course, we have something reminiscent, and this was something that scared the hell out of me for Jon Snow, is when he's crowned King in the North. Especially and it's just like, uh-oh, Jon, don't fall into that trap. Don't do it.
Yep.
Though come season 7, you come to find out he is not going to fall into the trap his cousin did.
No, well, and Sansa even tells him, don't end up like my father,
or my brother Rob,
or my brother. Yeah, both of them were great, but look, they fell. You can do better than that. So I mean, it just sets it up. Like you said, we end up with the brakes on. We get some filler, but we get good filler that pays off at the end. And I can't wait to see season 8. I'm ready. I don't want to wait anymore.
just for a little bit of remedial time. What don't fall into what trap? Like what were you thinking that Jon was gonna do? That
during the Battle of the Bastards part?
No, the trap that I was talking about. Like, basically, don't fall into this. Don't repeat the mistakes of Robb and Eddard. You have to be better.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the previous kings of the North that both fell.
Well, Eddard was never. He was only warden, but he probably could have been named king of the North if he'd so chosen to. But Eddard's fault was he didn't play the Game of Thrones. He thought the rule of law would win all, and he paid for it. Robb
exactly
got too cocky, went back on his word. Instead of following his brain, he followed his heart, and he got him killed. So that's why I was like, when Jon got crowned king in the North, especially pretty much the same way Robb did, and I'm like, uh-oh, this could go really sideways.
Yeah, no, I think I think Jon Snow, he naturally, he will avoid the mistakes of Robb and Ned, because he is, as what George R. Martin might say in the overall title of his entire series, is Jon Snow is a song of ice and fire.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm just wondering. I mean, this is just kind of pregame for season 8. Who's going to survive the battle against the Night King?
That's it. Yeah.
That's definitely something of like, who's going to live, and we're kind of all taking bets right now of who's going to live and who's going to die, because it's going to be, the fight's going to be at Winterfell, and it's going to be a fight to end all fights. But even when that fight's over, we still have to deal with Cersei.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. We're stopping and not jumping too far into 7, which is fine. But right here is where you hit that part where it's like, oof, you gotta, because there's so much to say, but we're not in 7. For me, the biggest thing, other than the Walk of Atonement, which was awesome to see, the make her walk barefoot into the castle. Then we're not going to let Queen Marjorie do that walk. And the peasants then say, no, she's already done her part. We're not going to do it. Then Queen Marjorie's brother, who later becomes, of course, Iron Fist, confesses his sins, only to be carved in the forehead to then be blown up by wildfire. I mean, shit, man. It was just like, good Lord.
And the thing is, it was surprising how quick off the mark Marjorie was, and no one would listen to her. If I was Marjorie, no one listened to me, I'd have been running for my life. I wouldn't even have waited. I'd have been gone.
By the time she put it together, it was too little too late, though.
I'm watching Marjorie die right now.
But the thing is, you have to think of Cersei.
Can I have a moment?
All her.
Can I please have a moment?
Yeah, no, but when I first saw Cersei putting on that dress with the short hair and all that, the only thing I can think of, oh my God, she is a perfect Romulan.
Yeah, no shit.
Mm-hmm.
The Romulans would be proud of Star Trek. They would look like and be like, damn, you got game.
You know, another, and I think I'm within season 6. When Tyrion gets set, you know, free from his cell, you know, and then you just see him walking down the hallway, you know, just all casual with a crossbow. And then he opens the door to his dad sitting on the toilet, you know, and it's like
Season 5, but
you know, and they're having that discussion, you know, and he's like, you know, he's like, that whore, shook, you know, and there goes the first bolt.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, don't call her that, and you know, don't, you know, and he's like, don't say that word again, but you know, and then sure enough, you know, his dad says the word whore again, you know, and there goes that second one, you know.
Yep. Season 4 finale, I do believe.
But
I think Tyrion becoming
Was
Hand
that
of the
4?
Queen.
I thought that was in 5 or.
that was into season 4.
Yeah, season
4. Yeah. But to me, the best part had to have been Tyrion becoming Hand of the Queen.
Oh, when
Right,
he
yeah.
to Dany, that was
Yeah.
like,
yeah,
When he
definitely.
bows to her, even.
and I will kneel for you.
Yes.
Another
And
one
the
of
fact that she
the
realizes, and the biggest thing is the fact that she, you know, she's so hardcore about taking over Westeros or whatever, and she was so skeptical of Tyrion, but she finally realized, like, whenever Tyrion was the hand of the king, even during season 2 during the War of the Five Kings, Tyrion was the most sensible leader of Westeros, essentially. And the fact that she's able to realize that Tyrion is basically the best leader of Westeros, he realizes she knows he's from one of the most powerful houses of Westeros, but the fact that she's able to put that aside and realize, if I'm going to rule, I need someone that understands Westeros. And I honestly don't think there's anybody out there that understands Westeros better than Tyrion Lannister.
Well, not only that, we'll also have the guts to stand up to her and tell her when she's going way off the deep end.
Well, the argument with the Unsolid when you know the pyramid's under attack. We tried your way, it didn't work. Now what? You know, he tried diplomacy, it didn't work. And then they turn around, you know, they throw the one guy under the bus and they fucking decapitate the 2 that were standing next to the masters. You know, well, he's not really one of us. He's not a master.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was so sweet.
But he strategized to try to keep the peace, even though there was no keeping the peace, which the Unsolid tried telling them, you do not know the army, you know, we listen to you. So, I mean, it just, even the plots before Dany gets in, and then when he finally becomes Hand of the Queen, it just, man. And you could stop right there and go back to the beginning and rewatch just his journey and how far he's come into season 6, and how far he will go 7 and 8. We will find out.
Another, you know, a couple of my little, you know, more favorite moments, you know, and it wasn't like a whole battle scene or something like that. Just little small moments, like and I like I said, that it's all kind of running together with me at this point. But when Mormont, you know, is like, you know, shows Daenerys, you know, he's got the grayscale or whatever, and you know, that he's got to go or whatever, and she's like, no, she's like, I don't give you permission to leave my service. And then she's like,
on the cure.
You know, I got a mission for you. And she's like, I want you to go find the cure.
Yep.
You know, and then he's all like,
and
you know, just that little moment between them, you know,
Well, you got that one. You've got Jon and Sansa back in Winterfell together.
But my other one that stands out to me, and this very well may be in season 7. Like I said, I can't remember at this point. But when they're having that meeting, and the Hound walks up to the mountain and is like,
That's season 7.
That's season 7.
Yeah, you're uglier than uglier than me now, and he's like, what's coming. So I'm like, that's one of the things in season 8 that I'm looking forward to is the mountain facing off with the Hound.
Okay, because 6 we find out that the Hound's still alive.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's another huge plot point where I feel like whenever the Hound was left for dead, I feel like I didn't think it was going to be completely gone, but I was just like, yes, the Hound's back. Let's go.
Oh, yes. But we also missed one other character who suddenly found some guts, and that's Theon Greyjoy when he helps 5 Senators escape, and then he finds his sister and joins up in the Grand Alliance under Daenerys. It's like, wait a minute, Theon's showing some guts for once in his life? Holy shit.
Oh, dude, the one little moment that was like so sweet was when he threw that chick off the freaking balcony or whatever, the Ramsay's like sick ass girlfriend, that would go hunting people with him.
Yeah.
That was like, yeah, you little bitch.
Yeah.
But Theon, growing some guts, and then Davos confronting Shireen over the Melisandre over the death of Shireen. That was a great.
Oh yeah, big time. That was.
I was hoping he was just going to pull his sword off and decapitate her on the spot. I was a little mad when that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because if that had been me as Sir Davos, and I found out that she was the one that had her sacrifice, that bitch wouldn't have lived more than 3 seconds after that.
But he did hold off so that she could bring back Jon Snow, because he found out after she brought back Jon. So, but yeah, they banished her. But we'll see, because I personally don't think her part's over in this yet.
No, because she even said, I will come back to die.
Yeah.
And you talk about Davos, dude, that like even though he was running with Stannis, like he's one of my favorites because of when they were at the Castle Black and they're all held up in the room with the dead body of Jon Snow, and the guy's like, he's like, I know what's coming, he's like, you all know as soon as we open that door, we're dead, and then to have him have set up, at least it seems like he set it up to have the wildlings invade, to kind of save his bacon.
Yep.
That was a sweet ass moment right there.
Oh, but there's also one other white elephant in the room I want to talk about. When Bran goes back and we see a young Eddard Stark take on the Kingsguard to get to Lysana, what did you all think of that fight?
Oh, it was incredible.
And now
it makes me excited that if they do, from what we saw from the flashbacks for the prequels that we're hearing that they're going to make, then I'm down. I'm excited.
Well, I can tell you right now, the prequel that will be coming out will be the First Men.
Yeah, they're going to go back.
It'll be the First Men, and it will be building the wall. And then the next one that I hope for after the First Men is the books Fire and Blood that we have gotten released from George R.R. Martin, even though he refuses to give us the Winds of Winter, damn it. I hope he does Aegon's Conquest.
I just hope that they don't drop the ball, man. Like I said, we got great flashbacks, and they pieced everything together perfectly. I just hope that it doesn't get lost when they do the prequels. That's all.
But one other thing, but that sword fight, have you guys seen it where they do the someone goes in and does like a lightsabers instead of
it's incredible.
It's
it's awesome.
I love Bran's reaction when that one that gets killed. It's like, wait a minute. I thought my dad killed him.
Yep. I know how this story ends. My father slays him. Wait a minute. He stabbed him in the back. Yeah.
Well, the other guy, it wasn't even him. It was the other guy.
Yeah, it wasn't even his dad. It was the other guy.
Yeah, but and then always getting to like that point where his father's running, and like even Bran calls out to his father, and his father turns around like, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah.
And then actually get in the room with Lysana, it's like, "Oh my God, he really is!" And we've confirmed.
And what the thing too is, though, he was there and he heard, or he saw Jon Snow's mother, whisper his name to Eddard, but he didn't hear it, apparently, because later on when he's talking to Sam, and the two of them put it together,
Well, that's when Bran has that epiphany of, wait a minute, and then he starts going back through time, and then he's like, oh my God.
Yeah, but he's like, because Sam's like, he was born in Doran, and
well, that's a discussion for another day, because now we're straying really heavily into season 7.
Is that 7?
Well, gentlemen, I got to jump off here. I've got a couple dogs. I got to run to the groomers to get their nails done. Master Moist, it's been a pleasure as always and an honor. Geoff, Shellback, always fun with you two gentlemen.
Always fun, Mr. Shawhan.
Right on.
I'll say thanks for joining as always, man.
All right, I shall catch you guys on the next one. Take care.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, we will see you.
Well, I think I've covered everything I need to, but I need to get ready too, because I have an eye appointment to go to, so I need to bounce out also.
All right, so yeah, let's we'll just close this out here, and we'll return about 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Sunday night Moist Cast Moisture Mash. Everybody's welcome to join up on that, and I'll let you guys put your channels if you'd like to. But this has been a little discussion about season 5 and 6 of Game of Thrones. And obviously, we have a lot more to talk about that we can even do maybe another stream next week talking about season 6 with Black Angus. Hopefully, he can join us for that one at least. That way, he can give us his inputs on season 5 and 6. I feel like he has some good takes on it. And yeah, maybe we can just do another recap even next week, because there's so much to talk about between these 2 seasons. I feel like early on, we were just like, oh, yeah, there's not a whole lot with season 5. But as we were talking, we're just like, shit, there's a lot more to talk about. And then we also are just really digging into season 6. But, hopefully we can just keep this thing going with Black Angus next week. But Geoff and Hallmark Channel Jeremy, if you guys like picture channels, and I'd like to thank you guys for joining the Moistcast stream of Game of Thrones.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Geoff the Iron Wolf. I am one of the founding fathers of the Fandom Collective. Go find us. We all do stuff. We all want everybody in. Like Mr. Moist is part of the collective. Shellback, Jeremy is always part. Everybody is allowed to be part of the collective. So come join us.
Yeah, I had a milestone. I passed the 100 hump.
Nice.
So yeah, I Friday had a live stream talking about how me and Immortal Coil are going to be going to Emerald City Comic-Con on the 15th, and we're gonna try and put together some footage for the collective on that. So, but yeah, we had a stream and had several people on there. Went almost 5 hours, and I went from 97. I started the stream at 97 subs, and by the time it was over, I had 104. So, I got that first 100 under my belt.
Obviously, there we go. And for those of you out there that are fans of The Office, I'm going to be going to AwesomeCon in DC. I think it's in middle April. I got to double check the dates. If I could be there, I will. But I will be meeting Creed Bratton of Creed Bratton from The Office. So hopefully that would be awesome. Do a little live stream with Creed Bratton. I will walk up and be like, get him to sign something and be like, hey, Creed, can I just like, instead of doing a picture, can I just do a little quick live stream? Hey, how you doing? And then Creed, give me your favorite quote or something like that from The Office. I will hopefully be able to give that to you guys. But I'd like to thank Geoff the Iron Wolf, Superfan Adam, Shawhan, and Hallmark Channel Jeremy. And shout out to the DJD show in the chat. He will give you fun times had by all. And hopefully you'll hear from DJD tonight, as well as the Superfan Adam Shawhan, Hallmark, and special guests on the Moist Cast that will be coming out at about 7:30 tonight. And we'll talk about some of the more recent pop culture things, a little Captain Marvel, some Avengers Endgame, Game of Thrones trailers, things like that. So hopefully you guys can join us there, and make sure you check out Hallmark Channel Jeremy's channel, as well as the Superfan DJD and Geoff the Iron Wolf. And we will end this show with a classic quote by DJD with fun times had by all.